I was out of my body, looking down on the car. The Bobcat was smashed, and it looked like no one could have survived.
American minister and healer Laurence shares how a car crash at age 22 led to a profound near-death experience, one that would permanently change how he understood life, death, and love. Laurence grew up Jewish in Westchester, New York. Before his near-death experience, he was searching for something, but never guessed it was spiritual. Though he'd had spiritual experiences, including seeing his deceased grandfather in a movie theater, he dismissed them, not knowing what to make of them. In 1976, shortly after returning from Colorado, 22-year-old Laurence went to a party where he drank and smoked. Believing he was okay to drive, he left late that night, unaware it would be the last moment he'd remember in his body.
I can still see the party in my mind when I check my memory, and I look at it now. I should have never been driving because it was kind of extra bright and a little hazy, like when you drink too much. But I remember walking towards a door. The next thing I remember, I was out of my body.
Laurence crashed into a tree. In the moments that followed, his awareness separated from his body.
I was out of my body, looking down on the car. The Bobcat was smashed, and it looked like no one could have survived. My body was leaning against the tree with my legs straight out this way, and a police officer was crouching over me. I was looking down. All of this seemed fine. I was in white light all around me, down where my body and the car was. It was nighttime and dark, and behind me was this big circle of a different shade of white, and within there was like a being, like a full body silhouette of a person or being with still another shade of white light kind of radiating off of that. The feeling was amazing. Even I start to say it, something in me starts to shiver a little bit because I still use that to connect to that incredibly loving, warm energy, like everything was okay. I was okay. The car was okay. My body, even though my head was smashed open, was okay. And life, everything was okay. Everything just seemed to make sense. It's almost like I could see three-dimensionally, but I was looking this way. And the being behind me said, "You have to go back. Your father wants you to stay." I knew right at that moment the father was God, not my physical father. And I went back into my body and then came to 3 days later in the hospital.
When Laurence awoke, the nurse told him it had been touch and go. The neurologist said he was lucky. Though he knew the experience was real, he had no framework to understand it. The term near-death experience was just entering public awareness, and there was no internet to research it. He told almost no one.
I went back to Colorado after getting somewhat physically better, and then my mom kind of convinced me to move back east, and I was sitting in my apartment back east. Within a year, this woman showed up at my door and introduced me to this teacher, and right away he started talking about this stuff. Interestingly, right away he started to talk to me about Mary and how he would talk like Mary was so open to God's love that she let the Christ energy in. I go, oh, that is what happened to me in my near-death experience. Then he talked to me about Jesus, and I go, oh, that being behind me was Jesus. And I just knew that. I know that now.
The teacher spoke of the ocean of divine love and benevolence. Laurence recognized it as the white light surrounding him. He studied with his teacher for years in New York, Colorado, Vancouver, and Texas, learning to understand what had happened to him. He says the experience reshaped his life, leading him to help others reconnect with love, meaning, and a deeper sense of the divine.
I think meditation is probably the most important thing to practice, at least most days. And even if you don't think you're doing it right, still you take that time. You commit that time to connecting to spirit, to God, and to your soul and high self. I think finding someone to help you is really important because those are the times it is outside of what we know, and it is very hard in your mind to get outside of what you know. Love is the answer. Love is the question. How can I be in my loving more? That it's an ongoing process. You open up, but love is the thing. That is the thing.